For thousands of years, the horse played a vital role in the history of East Asia. Horses were essential to warfare in China, Japan, Korea, and Mongolia. They provided speed, power, and mobility to armies across the region. From ancient times to the modern era, the use of horses in warfare shaped the destinies of empires and the outcomes of battles. This essay will explore the evolution of horse warfare in East Asia. It will highlight the unique ways horses influenced military strategy and tactics. The horse was not native to all parts of East Asia. Horses were first domesticated in the steppes of Central Asia. From there, they were introduced to East Asia through trade and warfare. The arrival of the horse had a profound impact on the region. It changed the way wars were fought and societies were organized. In ancient China, horses were first used in warfare to pull chariots. These chariots were not just simple vehicles, they were intricately designed and built to withstand the rigors of battle. Chariots were heavy, two-wheeled vehicles. They were constructed from wood and reinforced with bronze fittings, making them both sturdy and formidable on the battlefield. They carried a driver and an archer. The driver was responsible for maneuvering the chariot, while the archer would shoot arrows at the enemy, providing a deadly combination of mobility and firepower. Chariots were used to attack enemy formations and to chase down fleeing soldiers. Their speed and power made them effective tools for breaking through enemy lines and causing chaos among the ranks. The Shang dynasty, around 1600 to 1046 BCE, one of the earliest Chinese dynasties, relied heavily on chariots in warfare. These chariots were a crucial part of their military strategy and helped them to dominate their enemies. The use of chariots in battle was a sign of wealth and power. Owning a chariot was a status symbol, indicating that the owner was part of the elite class. Only the elite could afford to own and maintain them. These chariots required significant resources to build and upkeep, making them exclusive to the wealthy and powerful. During the Zhou dynasty, from about 1046 to 256 BCE, warfare evolved. Chariots became less important as new tactics and technologies emerged. Cavalry, soldiers on horseback, began to play a more prominent role. These mounted warriors were more versatile and could cover greater distances more quickly than chariots. Horses were bred to be larger and stronger. This selective breeding allowed for the development of powerful war horses capable of carrying heavily armored soldiers. This allowed soldiers to ride into battle with greater speed and agility. The cavalry could execute rapid charges and retreats, making them a formidable force on the battlefield. This shift from chariots to cavalry marked a significant change in Chinese warfare. The new tactics and mobility provided by the cavalry revolutionized how battles were fought. It gave armies greater flexibility and maneuverability on the battlefield. This evolution in military strategy allowed Chinese armies to adapt to different combat situations more effectively. The Warring States period, spanning from 475 to 221 BCE, was a time of intense and relentless conflict in China. This era saw numerous states vying for dominance and control over the vast and diverse territories of the country. Many different states, each with their own ambitions and strategies, fought fiercely for control of the country, leading to a prolonged period of warfare and instability. During this tumultuous time, cavalry emerged as the dominant force on the battlefield, revolutionizing the way wars were fought. States that were able to field large and well-trained cavalry forces had a significant advantage over their rivals, often tipping the scales in their favor during crucial battles. The state of Zhou was particularly famous for its highly skilled and effective cavalry units. Zhou's soldiers underwent rigorous training to master the art of riding horses and shooting arrows from horseback, a combination that made them exceptionally versatile and deadly. This unique skill set made them a formidable force in battle, capable of executing complex maneuvers and delivering devastating blows to their enemies. The Zhou cavalry played a key role in many important battles, often turning the tide in favor of their state with their superior mobility and combat prowess. Ultimately, their contributions were instrumental in the unification of China under the Qin dynasty in 221 BCE, marking the end of the Warring States period. The rise of cavalry during the Warring States period led to the development of new military tactics and strategies as generals adapted to the increased mobility and striking power of these mounted units. Generals began to use cavalry for a wider range of tasks, including scouting enemy positions, executing flanking maneuvers to outmaneuver opponents, and pursuing retreating forces to ensure complete victories. Cavalry became essential for quick strikes and decisive victories, often serving as the spearhead of military campaigns and the key to achieving strategic objectives on the battlefield. The use of horses in warfare also spread to Korea and Japan. In Korea, the Goguryeo kingdom from 37 BCE to 668 CE was known for its powerful cavalry. The Goguryeo horsemen were skilled archers and swordsmen. They were instrumental in defending the kingdom against invasions from China. The Goguryeo kingdom developed a unique style of mounted combat. They emphasized speed and agility. In Japan, horses played an important role in the development of samurai culture. Samurai were warrior nobles. They were skilled horsemen and swordsmen. Horses allowed samurai to travel long distances quickly. This was important in a country with mountainous terrain. Horses were also used in samurai rituals and ceremonies. They were seen as a symbol of status and power. No discussion of horses in East Asian warfare would be complete without mentioning the Mongols, the unparalleled masters of the saddle. The Mongols, under the visionary leadership of Genghis Khan, created the largest contiguous land empire in history, a feat that remains unmatched. The Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe, encompassing a vast array of cultures and landscapes. Key to their unprecedented success was their unparalleled mastery of horse warfare, which allowed them to dominate their adversaries. Mongol warriors were raised in the saddle from a young age, making them natural horsemen. They were not only expert riders, but also exceptional archers, capable of shooting accurately while galloping at full speed. Mongol horses were smaller than their European counterparts, but this did not hinder their effectiveness. These horses were incredibly hardy, able to survive on the sparse grasslands of Central Asia, enduring harsh conditions that would challenge other breeds. Mongol armies could cover vast distances quickly, often surprising their enemies with their sudden and swift movements. They could appear seemingly out of nowhere to launch devastating attacks on their unsuspecting foes. The Mongols' use of horses in warfare was devastatingly effective, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Their cavalry could outmaneuver and outrun their opponents, giving them a significant tactical advantage in battles. They could rain down arrows from a distance, decimating enemy ranks before engaging in close combat. When the time came, they could charge into close combat with lances and swords, demonstrating their versatility and skill. The Mongols' exceptional equestrian skills allowed them to conquer much of East Asia, including China, Korea, and parts of Japan, leaving an indelible mark on these regions. Their conquests had a profound and lasting impact on the history and culture of the region, shaping the course of East Asian history for centuries to come. Section 6. Logistics and limitations feeding the horsemen of war. The use of horses in warfare presented significant logistical challenges. Horses require large amounts of food and water. Armies on the move needed to find ways to feed their horses. This was especially difficult in areas with limited grazing land. Armies often carried grain to feed their horses. They would also send foraging parties to gather food from the surrounding countryside. Horses are also susceptible to diseases and injuries. Providing veterinary care for horses was another challenge for armies. Chinese armies developed sophisticated systems of veterinary medicine. They used acupuncture and herbal remedies to treat their horses. Despite these challenges, the advantages of using horses in warfare far outweighed the difficulties. Section 7. Beyond the battlefield, horses in East Asian culture. Beyond their military uses, horses held significant cultural and social importance in East Asia. In China, horses were associated with speed, power, and freedom. They were often depicted in art and literature. Horses were also used in religious ceremonies and festivals. In Japan, horses were closely linked to the samurai class. They represented the samurai ideals of courage, loyalty, and martial prowess. Horses were often given as gifts to honor brave warriors. They were even buried alongside their masters to serve them in the afterlife. The importance of horses in East Asian societies is reflected in their language. Many words and idioms in Chinese, Japanese, and Korean relate to horses. Even today, horses continue to hold cultural significance in East Asia. They are used in traditional ceremonies, festivals, and sporting events. Section 8. The decline of horse warfare, gunpowder, and modernization. The advent of gunpowder and firearms in the late medieval period marked a turning point in warfare. Gunpowder weapons, such as cannons and muskets, could inflict heavy casualties from a distance. They could pierce even the strongest armor. As a result, the dominance of cavalry on the battlefield gradually declined. In East Asia, the use of horses in warfare began to decline in the 16th century. Armies started to rely more on infantry equipped with firearms. Horses were still used for scouting, communication, and transportation. However, their role in battle became less important. The modernization of East Asian societies in the 19th and 20th centuries further diminished the importance of horses in warfare. The introduction of railroads, automobiles, and airplanes revolutionized transportation and logistics. It made horse-drawn transport obsolete. Section 9. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of the horse in East Asia. Horses played a pivotal role in the history of East Asian warfare for millennia. They allowed armies to travel faster, strike harder, and control larger territories. From the chariot battles of ancient China to the mounted archery of the Mongols, horses shaped the destinies of empires and the outcomes of wars. While the military significance of horses has waned, their impact on East Asian culture and society remains profound. Horses continue to symbolize strength, speed, and freedom. They are celebrated in art, literature, and folklore. The legacy of horses in East Asia is a testament to their enduring power and their impact on human history.